What's up, y'all? This is Brian, your host. Welcome back to the BA podcast. Hey, it's been another minute. Yeah, I know I'm not very good at recording these things. So I updated the status to publishing whenever. No set time, no set intervals of when it's coming out. Yeah, because I don't know, man. I'm busy. I like this podcast a lot. I like doing it, but it's busy, man. I got a lot of stuff going on. Um, once I can get to that point where I can actually record on a consistent basis, I'll re-update. But for now, you get what you get. Don't throw a fit. That's what I tell my kids all the time. All right, so episode 24. This one's gonna be called BA Brand. BA Brand. But yeah, I don't really have a lot to catch you up on, guys. Like it's kind of been the same stuff recently. Um, just busy with the wedding planning. We kind of went hard in there for a little bit. Kind of this last few weeks, we've kind of backed off because it was getting a little stressful. But about to hit it again because we still got some things we got to get done, and we've got it's in November, so about 6 months or so to go. It's coming up quick. Yeah, kids are doing well in school. I'm still doing my thing. We are well, I am, still working for Aldi grocery store as my full-time gig, and then doing a lot of Instacart, Uber Eats still on the side. Been hitting that pretty heavy, trying to get some extra cash to help support this wedding and everything else I got to pay. And launched the company. I don't think have I done an episode since we launched. I might not have, but BA Brands is now up and going. BABrandsshop.com. So let's just get into it, huh? It's kind of the reason why I picked this topic today. But BA brand. So I know I've talked about it a little bit in the past with, how I came about, this concept. But I'll just rehash a little bit for those of you that don't know. So I've been wanting to start like my own company for a long time. And I've actually started two previously that failed, um, which is okay. It's okay. Don't be sad at me. I'm not mad. But yeah, so my initial concept I just wanted to start some kind of something online that I could run from home and that I could kind of do as a side gig to supplement my income. That was the initial thought of it. And so initially I came up with uh, BA Sports. BA Sports was my first launched company, and it sold $0. It took about 6, 7 months to start up. So I had partnered with somebody in California. I won't mention the company um, because I don't want anybody to even look at it, to be honest. It's pretty shady. But yeah, so I started with this company. They promised that they would, this guy promised he would help build the website, get it up and running, even help maintain it, for a nominal fee, obviously. Um, we got it going. He had all the what do you call them, vendors lined up, and it all looked good. It all checked out. I called the vendors. Yeah, we work with this guy. Da da da. Got my website up. It looked nice. I liked it. Launched it. Not even a month in before I could even like get going with it, he called me saying that no, actually no, I was on the website and things weren't loading correctly. So I called him and he's like, "Oh, it looks like there's a virus." So I was like, "Okay." He's like, I'm going to have to go through and check it out. I'll call you when I can figure it out. So he, took about another month or so before I could get a hold of him again. Still nothing completed. He's like, yeah, we're going to have to re-upload everything. So this might take a while. I'll give you a call when it goes up. So again, nothing. Couldn't get a hold of him. Eventually, I just had to stop because it was sucking up too much money. And I just told him I didn't want to deal with it anymore. So cut that business off and, got a little depressed in between, whatever. Then I decided, you know what? Watching this guy build the website, I started researching some website builders, things like that. And I was like, I'm gonna do this on my own, but I don't want to have to deal with all the vendors and things because, it's, talking with some of the vendors before, he had a good deal because he had multiple clients. He's done it. So obviously it's worked for other people. Just didn't work for me, obviously. It wasn't meant to be, whatever it was. But, uh, my rates, if I was just buying individually from these people, was going to be too high to make any money off of. So I decided to go into the kind of make your own products type business. And I created be a strong friend. That was going to be my brand. Be a strong friend. And this concept came from a song called Strong Friend by, I want to say Royce da 5'9", I think. But it talks about people that, how you need to check in on your strong friend, make sure they're okay. The people that sometimes show the greatest strength aren't always the ones that are doing the best. They might be just hiding behind a facade. So checking on them, all about mental health, mental wellness. I said I was going to donate 1% in the beginning to mental health causes. And then as the business grew, that rate would increase. But I just wanted to start something to show where I was going to try to give back money to help support mental health. That company was going okay. I made 3 sales and then I got separated. So obviously you if you guys have been following me for a little while. Oh, side note, I do these a lot. I just realized I've been doing this podcast for over a year now, and started February last year. It's pretty crazy. I can't believe I've been doing this for a year. But yeah, we're on a year and 2 months almost now. So that's crazy. But thanks for hanging. So yeah, so I got a little depressed. Obviously, didn't know what was going to happen once I figured out this probably wasn't going to end well and that we're heading to divorce. Decided to stop, shut down the website, and save some money for the divorce procedures because I knew that was coming. So, fast forward to the end of last year. I don't remember the exact time. My friend JJ, follow me on Instagram. He's on there with me, but he actually approached me and asked me about the previous company I had and if it would be something I would be wanting to try again. Kind of pitched his idea with me, the BA brand. Initially it kind of started because he was heavy into real estate. He had a lot of realtors that he was doing his own thing with real estate and making shirts for himself and things like that. And he just wanted to see like what kind of things we could do. So be a brand, you could be a realtor, you could be a friend, you could be a nomad, you could be a dad, be a bride, be a groom, be a firefighter, be a teacher. There's a lot of BAs that you could do. And BA just happens to be my initials, Brian Abelos. So that kind of works. And then BA could be badass dad, badass firefighter, badass realtor. So that was the initial concept. It was me, JJ, another one of our friends, Brian Lombardo, who is a badass MF himself. He's has his own podcast. I don't really know what's up with his podcast. I'm going to follow up with him on that. But I know that since we both, me and Lombardo, both do our podcast on Anchor, and Anchor has been sold to Spotify. So Spotify has messed everything up. I'm just kidding, Spotify. I love you. But the ad revenue is a little bit different now. And until you get a bunch of followers, you actually can't start collecting ad revenue. So I don't know if they stopped because of that, but they haven't put out an episode in a while. But Professor Shred, you can still look up his website. He is going to do big things for sure. He's got already one book out. He does art. Um, he sprays skateboard decks, deck tape, artistic forms, like a lot of look. I don't know this genre, so I think it's anime. Could be wrong. Could be something else outside of anime. But to me, it looks like anime. But he does that stuff. So check him out. But yeah, us three, we're gonna start this whole thing. We've met a few times. Lombardo's house. We were gonna print the shirts ourselves, and yeah, that's basically what it was. And as things evolved, Lombardo got busy with his other stuff, so he had to step out. Love him, let him do his thing. That's awesome. JJ and I were trying to figure out a way to be more productive with it because we could only meet not even once a month usually that we would get together. We did have the equipment. JJ still has the printer at his house. And so eventually down the road, maybe we can start printing some of our own out. But for now, we do it through Printify, which is cool. We can create our own designs, create our own, t-shirts, stickers, whatever it is. And we got our website, www.babrands with an S shop.com. And yeah, we decided we're going to start just launching collections. So we launched our first collection last month, BA Nomad. Our next collection should be coming out here shortly, BA Friend. That was one of our original concepts when we came up with this whole thing. So excited about this launch for the BA Friend. But yeah, we're in it to win it for real though. Like we're gonna stick it out. Had a few sales already, mostly friends and family, which is nice. They show support, helping us out. But and down the road, I think on this launch, haven't really discussed it with JJ. Sorry for not discussing it with you yet, but we're probably gonna start doing the donations. Part of the concept is we want to help the community. We want to help people out. We want to help whatever it is that we're, whatever the collection's about, find some kind of charity and donate a percentage of our profits to that charity to help give back to that community. And yeah, it's just kind of a work in progress. We're going to kind of take it as it goes and see where we can get to it, but we're gonna stick it out. I think we're both in okay spots to where this isn't taking up too much of our time. It's not taking up too much resources, which is nice. And by resources, I mean money. And yeah, it's just something that we like to do, and we want to eventually make it something that hopefully it doesn't have to be nationwide big, but maybe community wide big here in Fort Myers. And we'll see where it goes. We still have a lot of things we want to try to work out. We're going to try to make some updates to the website before we launch the BA Friend. And yeah, excited about that. But taking it back, BA brand. Let's just start with the definition. That's always a good thing to start with, right? So when we're talking about BA brand, obviously it's personal, a personal brand. So the definition for being a brand for a person is the process of defining and promoting what you stand for as an individual. So your personal brand is a culmination of the experiences, skills, and values that differentiates you. Why do I like this? Well, first of all, I feel like everybody everybody is an individual brand, whether you like it or not. Whether you're trying to be a brand for yourself, put yourself out on Instagram, social media, start your own personal type business, coaching, whatever that is, you are a brand. Whether you're the mom that just stays at home, takes care of the kids, is cooking dinner, get dinner every night for them, folding laundry, going in the PTO meetings, taking the kids to their events, um, mom or dad, whatever that is. I'm sorry, yeah, that was being gender specific, but it's not a gender specific role. Um, it should be more equal, to be honest. But yeah, whether you're that person, you're a brand. You're going out to these events. Moms are seeing you. They have this. You're putting out there what you want them to see, uh, what you feel you are. Whether it's the clothes you wear, the car you drive. That's possibly could show what kind of person you are as a brand. Um, how you treat your kids, how you treat your friends, how you help out in school, volunteer, uh, things of that nature that can create your brand. Uh, Other personal brandings that are bigger, obviously, are like online coaches or influencers and things like that. So, people you listen to on podcasts, like me. No, I'm just kidding. But, maybe one day. But, like I listen to a lot of podcasts. So, and most of them are individuals who share their perspective on things. So, for example, let's just use a guy that I've really been into lately, Jay Shetty. I really like Jay Shetty. This guy, first of all, on a branding note, he's been very good with being very specific on what he does. So he is just trying to help people, and he has a unique perspective on life, which I like. He grew up. It's a normal kid, UK, I think it was. I'm pretty sure, and Indian kid, bullied as a kid. He always talks about how he was bullied as a kid. He was a little bit overweight, things like that. When he got into high school, he was kind of a bad rebel type child. He would, uh, kind of get into trouble. Started being a bully a little bit. Um, but then one day in college, I think it was, I don't remember if it was in college or in high school, but one thing was in college, he went and saw a speaker. And the only reason he went to go see a speaker, because him and his friends would go to these events and then they go out to a bar afterwards, things like that. So he didn't want to go see this monk talk. All his friends wanted to go see this monk talk and they wanted him to come with them. He said, the only way I'm going to go with you is if we go to a bar after. Saw this monk talk and it pretty much changed his perspective on things, which is cool, which can definitely happen, by the way. So all it takes is one thing to kind of change your view and put a different spin on your life. You might not even know it's happening at the time. You might not even realize it, but something can get a hold of you and then you just kind of chase it. I'll have to think back on what that was for me because I'm sure there was some kind of event in my life that made me really change the way I saw things because I wasn't always the type of person that was just kind of, well, I've always been kind of laid back, but I wasn't always the type of person that was just kind of let things go. I kind of dwelled on things a lot. But over time, I've kind of just learned to, anyways, I don't know. I'm going to reflect on that. I'll get back to you in a future podcast. But so, yeah, so he was, he went to college, became an investment banker, hung out with these monks. This monk lived as a monk for I think it was 3 years, and then, but constantly, even when he left, he would work, live with the monk over the summers, things like that, and yeah, now he has this whole brand of just positivity and showing love to people and um, becoming a better version of yourself, and he's huge, number one podcast for health and wellness for the last 2 3 years maybe, I don't know exactly. Has his first book out, obviously his podcast. He's a partner with the Calm app, which I use, which I'm starting to use more, but I do have. Um, but yeah, it's just really interesting guy. You have people like, I don't know, Ed Milet. He's another one creating his own brand. Rob Diedrich. Uh, for those of you from my age group, you know Rob as from Rob and Big, one of the greatest shows of all time. But he's kind of rebranded himself. He's always been an entrepreneur, but he's really sitting into that role now. He has. If you haven't checked out his podcast, you need to check it out. It's called Grow with Rob. I think it's called. I can't remember exactly now, but I think it's called Grow with Rob. It's a little different. If you're going there to try to hear like funny stories and skateboarding videos, it's not going to happen. But he does have a new, unique perspective on life and on the way he lives his life. And interesting dude. I like him. Rob Diedrich, Gary Vee. Obviously, he's probably one of the biggest influencers in the world right now. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But I feel like I see him everywhere. Maybe it's just because I follow his stuff, so it always pops up on my social media. But yeah, he's entrepreneur, talks about just winning in life and taking chances and being kind. He has started VeeFriends, so huge in the NFT community. Um, all these people are their own brands, and those guys probably have a team working with them, I'm sure, working on building that brand, making sure it's specific, that they stay in the same lane, things of that nature. But even as a personal brand, you can definitely have, you know, you don't need to work on it. It's just who you are. Um, so in order to work on it, you would have to work on yourself. So why is it important that you develop your personal brand? I don't know if it is, to be honest. Unless you're trying to sell something, unless you're trying to put yourself out there, grow your social media, uh, do something of that nature, I don't know if it's important to develop your brand. I do think it's always important to work on yourself, which in a roundabout way is kind of developing your brand, but it's a less professional way of putting it, I guess. But working yourself and knowing who you are, I think, is what is the most important. Are you doing things because you want other people to see you do them, or are you doing things because that's what makes you happy in life? That's what I think is the most important lesson in this whole thing is I used to try to do things before because I thought it's what I was supposed to do. I thought that was my role. Um, I thought I was, this is what I have to do in order to get something. That's why I did things in the past. Now, uh, there's still things I have to do. You know, I have to have a full-time job. I have to pay bills. I have to pay child support. I have to uh, help support my fiance in the home as much as I can, even though she's very generous with me. And um, as guilty as I feel, I know that eventually I will be able to help her more. And yeah, so there's still things I have to do, but I can still choose to do them, with a positive attitude. For example, I still work my full time job at a grocery store, um, but I'm no longer the store manager. I've decided that being a store manager is not what I want to do with my time. Um, I wasn't getting the same happiness as I was in the past as being a store manager. So, with the company I'm with now, I already said it, so I'm going to say it again, Aldi. I don't have as large of a team to influence. And there's not much you can do to help these people grow in this company. There's only so far you can get. So when you're in the store level, you can get up to a store manager. It's pretty much where you end. Okay. And yeah, some of these people want to do that. Not all of them, some of them just want to get a little bit more money, da 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 da. That's fine. And I felt like I was helping people for a while find what they want to do. But now, now we're kind of stalled our growth down here, at least. I mean, there's still a couple stores opening, but for a while they were opening 3, 4, 5 stores a year. We've got 20 some stores down here in this area right now. And, there were spots for store managers. So I can encourage people, hey, you want to be a store manager? I can get you there. Let's work on this. Let's work on this. Let's work on this. And I got a lot of people into the store manager role, which is great. And, but now that's not really the case anymore. Like the highest thing goes like assistant manager. And a lot of these people that I see that want to do it are super smart, really dedicated, hardworking, and they want to, continue their life. And I don't want to encourage them into something that's not going to get them to where they want to go. It's kind of one of the reasons why I stepped down. A couple other reasons. I didn't have the flexibility of my schedule now that I'm divorced. Now I was getting divorced and, wanted to be able to spend the time with my kids and not be working all the time. So I was able to step down, do that, supplement my income with something else I don't mind doing, Instacart and Uber Eats. So food delivery overall. And one of the reasons why I enjoy that, first of all, I like to drive. I can listen to podcasts in the car while I'm doing it or while I'm shopping them. And I like helping people. I've gotten so many compliments as far as, oh, thank you for helping me get what I needed. Elderly people that need food delivery, they can't get out. During the hurricanes, some people didn't have still electricity. So, going to Publix and getting them, rotisserie chickens and delivering it to their house. They couldn't leave their neighborhoods. Or the refrigeration didn't work, so they had to order food every day. Seeing some of those same people, delivering to blind people who can't get out, just need food help, and being able to follow the instructions that they leave on their thing in order to get the food to them. Okay, I know it seems small, and I know I've had a lot of really bad Instacart and Uber Eats delivery drivers, but I just try to do the best I can and make sure that the people are doing, getting what they need, how they need it. And it's really benefited me. I've been able to get some really good tips on as it, and been able to supplement that lost income I took from stepping down as a store manager. So again, that's my brand. I want to help people. I want to help people grow. I want to help people develop. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard because especially now, as a dad of teenagers who don't want to listen to me, don't want anything to do with me. I try to still show that in what I do. I try to still be the best example that I can, and I'm not perfect. I'm well aware that I'm not perfect, but who is, right? I say this all the time. I've never met a perfect person. There's people up there that are high up on my standards, but nobody's perfect. And if you try to live with this life trying to be that perfect person, you're going to fail. And you're never going to reach your full potential because you're always going to get to a certain spot, realize you're not perfect, try to get knocked down, try to rebuild back up again. All you can do is just keep trying to be a better version of you every single day. I was watching a video on, Instagram Reels. It was Kobe giving a speech, and he was talking about, every day before you go to bed, just look in the mirror and ask yourself, did I get better today? And if you can say yes, and you continue to do that every single day, imagine what it's going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, But it's not going to happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a week. It doesn't happen in a month. It doesn't happen in a year. It takes time, but it's those little steps of you improving yourself every single day. You got to be honest with yourself, So, when you look in that mirror at the end of the night, did I get better today? Don't just say yes because you like, if I keep saying yes, I'm going to be better in 10 years. That's not how it works. You got to be honest with yourself. If you didn't get better that day, ask yourself why. What didn't I do today? What could I have done to get better today? Eventually, maybe you go a week where you say yes, but then there's one day you say no. Okay. Maybe you have 7 days that you say no. Okay. As long as you're having those conversations with yourself, maybe even with a therapist, therapy does help. Um, but have those open and honest conversations with yourself about why. Why am I not getting better? What am I not doing? What can I do? Don't be judgmental. Don't judge yourself on it. It's not a good or a bad thing. You just want to find out why. And as you do that, you're continuing to build your brand. And maybe you make no money off of it. But hey, if you have a badass brand, you're gonna be a badass person. There's just no doubt about it. So that's all I got today, guys. That was actually a longer one for me, but hope you guys enjoyed. And hey, go. Make sure you guys be A. All right, love you guys. Peace.